You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
makes a bright sunshiny day in a land of make-believe. never could conceive. You're lying here next to me. She's so fabulous. My boo is so marvelous, marvelous. The way we met, it was so miraculous, miraculous. I feel so fabulous. Ooh, oh, oh. What a wonderful feeling. Leaves me rocking and reeling. Loving you's been so dope. A shining star, so full of hope. Just to hold you, been so real. It's the thought of you. You've been my biggest thrill. She's so sensuous. From the first time I saw you, it made me curious. And if you leave, girl, I'd go furious. My boo is so fabulous, fabulous. Yeah. Love is about giving. Every day so fulfilling. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. Just you and I, a wonderful love song. It must be sent from above. The floatiness of a dove. You're my boo. I'm so into you. Ooh. A wonderful feeling. A wonderful feeling. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're my boo. You're so fabulous.
Takes my breath away.
Takes my breath away. No one makes me feel the way you do, girl. You're so fabulous.
I never could conceive.
I never could conceive. So miraculous.
Here next to me.
You're lying here next to me. So, so
We've known each other a long time, and I've been thinking about you, thinking about us getting together. What about you?
It's been so long since you let love in. So many ups and downs, you don't know how to begin. But I wanna tell you, just one day at a time. Give me a chance and I'll make you mine.
what about you?
Are you lonely?
What about you?
Feeling sad?
What about you?
I can make you happy. What about you? Do you need someone?
What about you?
To hold you close?
What about you?
I need to know. Tell me what about you? I promise to love you forever and a day. I'll do whatever it takes to make it easy along the way. I'll be there for you through thick and thin. You can count on me. On my word you can depend.
What about you?
Are you lonely?
What about you?
Feeling sad?
What about you?
I can make you happy.
What about?
Ooh, what about you? Do you need someone?
What about you?
To hold you close?
What about you?
I need to know.
if you just hold my hand, look at me. Let me hold you close. You know that I've always loved you. I've loved you a long time. What about you? What about you?
Seven, 365. You stay on my mind all the time, and I'm always wondering what if or what we could be. I smile at all the possibilities. Sorry I ran. I had so much fear because I've been hurt before. Now that I've let down my guard, I wanna be here, 'cause you make me say ooh, ooh, ooh. And I can't speak, you got me saying ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm so weak, you got me saying ooh. For nothing, I'm satisfied with the way that you love me, how you provide everything that I need. I can't take it. I'm so mad about all the time I've wasted. Sorry I ran so long. I had so much fear, 'cause I've been hurt before. Now that I'm let down my guard, I wanna be here. 'Cause you make me say ooh, ooh, ooh. And I can't speak, you got me saying ooh, ooh. And I'm so weak, you got me saying ooh.
the same. I know just what to say. I
say it's undeniable. Every time we touch, you know just what I like. I'm all about you, boy, 'cause you're the best thing in my life. And every time I see you walking towards my way, it's undeniable. You are the one. And every time I look into your deep brown eyes, it's undeniable. I am your girl. When we love this deeply, you know just what I want. You are undeniable. Every time we touch, you know what I like. You're all about me, boy, 'cause you are the best in my life. And every time I see you walking towards my way, it's undeniable. You are the one. And every time I look into your deep brown eyes, it's undeniable. I am your girl. And every time I see you walking towards my way, it's undeniable. You are the one. And every time I look into your deep brown eyes, it's undeniable. I am your girl. I'll be by your side, always right around you. And I know you're there for me. So free in your love, never let me go, 'cause you are the best in my life. And every time I see you walking towards my way, it's undeniable. You are the one. And every time I look into your deep brown eyes, it's undeniable. I am your girl. And every time I see you walking towards my way, it's undeniable. You are the one. And every time I look into your deep brown eyes, it's undeniable. I am your girl. Towards my way.
Give it right to get it right. Give it right to get it right. Ever since I met you, babe, all I think about is ways that I can please you. Oh. You are the one, you're my priority, and this I'm gonna prove. I'll do anything to keep a smile on your face. There's no debating, true love is give and take, no more hesitating. Give it right, yeah. To get it right. Oh, you got to give it right. Give it right. Give it right, yeah. Get it right.
I'm gonna give you love, the kind that you can feel way down on your insides. It's the kind of love with purposeful intention, the kind you need in your life. I'll do anything to keep a smile on your face. There's no debating, true love is give and take. There's no hesitating.
real soon.
Another sleepless
Love you.
night.
Bye.
I wanna be close.
What's this hold you got over me? I ain't in control, it's so crazy.
What the hell is going on?
Sleepless, restless, weary night after night. Missing what we share, it feels so right. I love your tone,
I love it.
the way you speak my name.
Rasha.
Waking me from my sleep, for you are real.
Where are you?
Only to find that you were never there.
Baby.
Did you really want me? Did you care? Can you feel me? Oh, can you feel me? Close to me.
I wanna be close, baby.
Baby, can you feel me? Oh, can you feel me, baby? Close to me. Closer, closer. As darkness falls all over my heart, the part that beats you seems so far.
Please come home.
Calling, calling.
Please,
I
baby.
need you, and I know that you want me to.
I know you miss me.
Come on, back home.
Come on back home, baby.
It's for me, baby, that your heart longs. I need you here, right by my side. I'm lost without your love. You've been my guide. Can you feel me? Oh, can you feel me? Close to me. I wanna be. Can you feel me? I need you. I know you need my love and sugar. Let me break it down, break it down, break it down right here. No matter where you are, no matter.
I think you should know that
I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't think without you close to me. Can you feel me? Oh, can you feel me? Close to me. I wanna be closer. I need so close. Yeah.
just like that.
I remember the time when we fell in love, how you stole my heart. And I remember the way you looked at me, I knew that you were the one. Seems like the time has come to remind you that you're the only one. I could never love anyone as much as I love you. Can't you see the way I feel about you? Everything I am is all for you. I never wanna live without your love.
depending on, honey, your telephone, girl, to keep you warm. It's 24/7, baby. Just put it down and talk to me, honey. You know you want it, so why don't you text me tomorrow, girl? 'Cause in the morning there will be no sorrow. You'll be coming back to me, oh, baby. You'll be coming back, baby. Text me tomorrow, girl. But in the meantime, in between time, girl, you'll be coming back to me, baby. So why don't you text me tomorrow, please? Ooh, baby, ooh-wee. We never saw the waterfall, baby. The tide is high, we gotta try to keep our love nice and dry. So wipe the tears from your eyes, girl. There was a time when you and I, baby, would go for walks and sweet talk, and I could see your sweet smile. So why don't you text me tomorrow, girl? 'Cause in the morning there will be no sorrow. You'll be coming back to me, oh, you'll be coming back, baby. Text me tomorrow, girl. But in the meantime, in between time, girl, you'll be coming back to me, baby. So why don't you text me tomorrow, please? Ooh, baby, ooh-wee. So baby, please stay with me, honey. Be straight with me, don't play with me, baby. 'Cause you know our love can use some TLC. Ooh, baby, so can't you see it's you and me forever? So baby, please come home to me. You'll never be alone. Stay off the phone, I got what you need, baby. Text me tomorrow, girl. 'Cause in the morning there will be no sorrow. You'll be coming back to me, oh, you'll be coming back, baby. Text me tomorrow, girl. But in the meantime, in between time, girl, you'll be coming back to me, oh, you'll be coming back, baby. So text me tomorrow, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of the Indie Live Spot, and we're very excited today. Hope you all are having a great weekend so far and staying cool in your areas. But anyway, we're very, very happy to have our guest today. Help me welcome Mr. Maurice Christian in the house. Hey, Maurice, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, well, we're really excited. Like you said, Joyce said, like, we're very excited about having you on today. And then also I wanted to also extend my thank you for Von Coulter coming on today and sitting in a little bit. Ray Mack is out on assignment. He's actually on his personal assignment. Yeah, he's out doing some things. Y'all know how he is. But it's a possibility he might pop in a little bit later on in the show today and everything. But again, thank you for being here today, Mr. Christian. We're just excited to hear about your story and hear about some of the things that you are doing. I heard your great music. We're going to actually share some of that wonderful music with our guests today. Not our guests, but
awesome.
our listeners and viewers. Yes. But again, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. So for starters, I guess let's get into it. Maurice, now, as we talked a little bit off air, I asked you a little bit about your ties to the Delphonics thing, and I know that you are going to be doing that, and I don't know, is that something new that's just coming for you, or are you? Can you kind of explain a little bit about that, where you fall on that?
Well, I've been with them for 2 years now. I've been performing with the Gary Stevens Delphonics for 2 years.
Okay.
At this point. Mm-hmm. And we have plans, like I said, we have plans to go to Connecticut, Detroit, and a spot in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And all those things will be confirmed so that I'll have a more specific date, to let you know. But people can look, if you're in Connecticut, you're in Detroit, you're in Vegas, you can look out for those those Delphonics, but it has to be the Gary Stevens Delphonics.
Okay.
Because we're the ones we throw down.
Yeah.
We still sing the songs so sweet, and we still do the choreography. So,
Awesome.
That's the show. If you go see Delphonics and they're not doing that, it's not us.
All right.
If they're not moving, they're not us.
Understood. Okay. Now, let's talk about you. Because I know you have some great music that we're going to be sharing a little bit later in the show. But you, from what I read, you've actually been in this business for quite some time, and you worked, with a lot of folks, a lot of people that we've seen and know, and it's everything. So let's kind of go back your history. I mean, where did you start from the beginning?
In my bathroom with a broom. Yelling my lungs out,
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah, until my mom would knock on the door and say, "Okay, son, that's enough. Come out. Let's go do something else."
I love that.
I said, "Oh, that was a nice way to put it."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started in a dance group called the Puppets, and that's how I started. I met a guy that lived one house down from me, and he came over and we met, and he's like, "Hey, they got this thing called Soul Train." He goes, "You got to come and go with me." Right?
Yes.
I'm thinking, no, I can't cut class and to go down there, because it started in Chicago at the Board of Trade building.
Correct. Yeah.
And they were broadcast, daily. We would see this. So I finally got a chance to go. And when I finally got a chance to go, he had already met the Puppets that was already going there. So he introduced me to the other Puppets. And then a couple of members dropped off. And he said, "Well, look, we need some new members." So I was one of them. And my best friend was one of them. And so we got in a group together. That's how I started with the Puppets. Now, we got discovered in Chicago at the University of Illinois filming the Midnight Special, where Wolfman Jack was hosting.
Wolfman Jack, yeah.
And so he picked us up and put us on his tour. He said, "I got to head these guys, let's put them on the tour." So it was a year later before we actually connected and hooked up, but he actually put us on the tour. And that lasted for about 8 years.
Wow.
going with him. So
My
they
goodness.
kind of set that ball in motion, rolling, to where I am now. And, things just kept evolving from that point.
Yes.
But we did a lot of things with him. We did the American Bandstand. We were guest stars on that.
Oh yeah.
We later they signed us to MCA record label. After that, we were on the Wolfman Jack special, which they filmed out of Toronto, Canada.
Okay. Yeah.
Then a year later, they said, well, listen, this was really popular up here. Let's get you guys to come back and do a series. So we did a 26 series with Wolfman Jack, TV show for the Canadians there.
Wow.
So and that included Sherry Lewis, Alan Hamill, and we did a concert over in Ottawa, Canada, for it was a college town for kids. It was outdoors, so we went over there as a guest as well. So all those things were the beginning of Wolfman Jack and his manager Don Kelly, which became our manager as well. And he set all this stuff in motion. He was a great guy. Took care of us, made sure we were taken care of, and everything was right. And to shield us, because we're still young kids.
Yeah.
And to shield us from all the drama and turmoil that was coming. So he pretty much became like our guardian.
Wow.
He was our guardian, watching over us.
Yeah.
So that's how all that got started.
Man,
How
that's
old
amazing.
were you guys at the time?
Oh, I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, between 19 and 21. That was our age. The oldest one was 21.
Okay.
And then the youngest was actually 17.
Wow.
So we were still, pretty young there. So we ran into a few artists that kind of looked at us and like, okay, you kids, let me tell you something. One of them was Lou Rawls.
All
We
right.
were filming the same we filmed American Bandstand at the same time he was filming
Okay.
that episode, and he came over into our dressing room. And he's like, look, y'all young boys, I want to talk to you for a minute. And that's how we spoke.
Yeah.
And he was dropping some knowledge on us and some wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then doing the series of Wolfman Jack, then we ran into, of course, the Miracles came. They were on the show. Gladys Knight and the Pips, they were on the show. I think Lil Anthony was on the show too.
Wow.
Little Richard was on the show. He was hilarious.
I bet.
Little Richard was something
I can
else.
believe that.
Yeah.
So we were able to hang out with him because we weren't on a time limit. Because he had already filmed his segment of the show.
Okay.
And we're on the time, so this was afterwards. And he's like, damn, why don't y'all boys come up to my suite over here? And then I want to talk to y'all for a minute. So we went up, all of us went up there and hung out with him. And he was hilarious. And he was telling us some things, but he was telling us about the business, what to look out for, the traps,
Okay.
and all these things. He was really cool. He was like the highlight of Canada. We're filming that series.
Wow.
And he was really, really cool and telling us about the business, what we need to do, and watch out for this, watch out for that. Don't do this, don't do that. And we spent a lot of time with him. And then our manager came looking for us, said, okay, you guys got to go do this and do this. So then we left. But he was like the highlight of that trip
Yeah.
at that time. Little Richard was.
Oh,
So my hat's off to him, and rest in peace, Little Richard.
Indeed.
yes,
Indeed.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, that's so cool.
I know.
Right.
Write a book.
No doubt.
But when I don't talk a lot about it the past much, but then when I do talk about it, I'm like, I wonder if anybody actually believe me. Because this sounds too like
Because it's trust me, your information from that time period, I know I don't know about Gary, but I think Gary's one. We're the last of the baby boomers. We vibe.
Yeah,
with,
I was born in '63.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
we're both.
Yes.
so, look,
Yeah, when you said
we'll
Wolfman
vouch.
Jack,
We'll vouch for you, Maurice. We'll
Yeah,
vouch.
yeah, no doubt.
oh, well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, because when you mentioned Wolfman Jack a little bit earlier, that just, man, it hit a big old light in my head, and I was thinking about the times that I used to stay up night and watch that show all the time.
Yeah.
The midnight special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I was
before
Girl.
that
trying to
night,
watch-
I'm sorry, yeah, that night we were discovered. They actually, I think it was the Ohio Players that was filming that night.
Dang.
And they actually had the group go on and dance right in front of them.
Ah.
You know, and so if you look, they didn't introduce or anything. They just came out, you know, and they came out and doing the dance. So that was one of the highlights. But we also,
I love that song though. But anyway,
Oh. So we also did the thing with Ray Charles.
Okay.
You know, a concert. And we danced in front of him
Wow.
when he was playing too. That was in Chicago. I think it was at McCormick Place, downtown Chicago, where he performed, and we were part of that as well. So we did a lot of things that kind of like experienced that, and we were only dancers, and it was just amazing. So now where it's come to is next week, as a matter of fact, I'll be heading to Chicago. They have an event coming up on the 13th and 14th where they're taking my group, the Puppets, and commemorating us into the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum
Wow.
as the pioneers of dance out of Chicago.
Hey.
You know, that launch, what we were doing, that launch, because what we were doing at the time was called locking. But now the kids call it hip hop.
Right.
But at the time, we were just having fun, you know, and doing what we do. But we didn't know it was leaving an impact on those that was younger than us, that was watching us.
Yes.
And it did. And they had been trying to search for us for like 43 years. So I'm like, what? They're like, 43 years? Well, you're looking for the Puppets. Well, in 1979, we signed a contract with MCA record label. They changed our name to Dream Express. So if you're looking for the Puppets, you weren't going to find them. You had to look for Dream Express.
Okay.
So it was, so that was another highlight moment that we did on that one as well. But when they finally found us, we caught up with them, and they said, yeah, well, this is what we like to do. And so they said, yeah, sure. That we all come together. So it's going to be like a reunion, because some couple is still in Chicago, some is in Fresno, some's out here in Cali, you know, so we're all coming together to, it'll be a reunion for all of us, actually.
Nice.
You know, Iowa, I think it's not Iowa, but Milwaukee. You know, we have some of the originals coming to join us, you know, on that evening. So we'll be appearing at the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum on Saturday, which is August 13th, and then August 12th, I'm sorry, Saturday, August 12th. August 13th, which is a Sunday, is where the event and award ceremony is going to take place. So that's where we'll go. And so that was an honor. So we're excited about that.
Congratulations. Yes.
Congratulations,
Yes, congratulations
man.
on that.
That's
Oh,
unbelievable.
thanks.
Oh, you make it. You made history, bro. You make it
I know,
history.
right?
Yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
asked, well, how does that feel? It's something you only watch on the American Music Awards, right?
Exactly.
Or the Grammys. And
Right.
people get up there, and I like to think, you know, and while they holding their award, and I like to think, and suddenly taking out their piece of paper, making a speech. I'm like, well, I just saw it at, you know, what do you do?
True. Exactly.
So I'm excited inside, but at the same time, I'm still trying to come to the realization of the depth of what that means.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm just, I'm happy that what we were doing actually affected people in a positive way,
Yes. Yes.
because that's what we lack so much. You know, as artists, musicians, and actors, we need to make sure that we affect people in a positive way.
Right.
You know, for the young ones, because my mom said, you never know who's watching you.
Watching you.
Ain't that the truth?
You know,
Yes.
so make sure you're always doing the right thing.
Right.
She always doing that. My mom was my strength, you know, through all this, leaving home at 19, because I spoke to her about it. She said, well, you know, if it doesn't work out, you can always come back. You're still young enough, and go back and start over. Because I was supposed to be an electrician by trade. That's what I was supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was all my classes in high school. And they had me doing all kinds of things anyway. And then working with my brother-in-law, working on cars. So I was partly a mechanic at the same time.
Well, all right.
So I did a lot of things. And this opportunity came up, Wolfman Jack and Don Kelly, to travel. And we got on board, and it opened up a world of opportunities for all these things I'm speaking to you, you guys about right now.
Yeah. Man. That is awesome.
Well, you
Well, I
definitely
wanna say,
more in life.
just tapping into what you said about you guys were locking back in the day. I remember, there were a lot of groups because I grew up in Compton, California.
Okay.
And so, locking was just the routine. There was a lot of, especially the LA lockers back in the day,
exactly.
What's happening, and Freddie Rerun Stubbs was part of their dance crew, and all of that locking, and it just was the thing to see, because it represented our culture,
Yes.
and it showed strong because a lot of it spread all over America. A lot of cities had their own locking groups and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it did,
which was extremely fascinating. And we saw our own selves back at ourselves on television.
Yes.
When you talked about Soul Train in Chicago, Don Cornelius was a DJ in Chicago when it started, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was a DJ.
He was.
Yeah.
And then he went to dance.
And he went to dance. Yeah, and then they moved to LA, and the rest is history.
And that was it. Like, what you doing? What you doing, Don? What you doing? You don't like us no more? That's like, you want to say that? Where you going? Bring your natural back in. Bring that natural back in, that big tie you wear around your neck. Bring it back in. Where you going? You can't go.
Yeah.
I didn't know it started in Chicago. When I started watching it, it was LA. So I didn't know about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got him on his way up.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's a lot more music companies coming to LA. LA was growing, so it was a smart move for him.
Yeah.
To come out here, in the West and get it started, and then he got new dancers. He had a bigger studio, and then it just took off from there. So it was an amazing thing to do.
I'll tell you,
amazing.
I don't care what we were doing in the hood on Saturdays when Soul Train came on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are in the country.
That's the law. That was the law.
Didn't matter in the country. That's how I learned how to dance. I was a little bitty girl going,
watching.
How do you do it?
Oh,
but
yeah.
Just seeing us represented on TV was just, oh my gosh.
It was great.
It was a representation.
Especially where I came from. Back then, we only had 2.5 channels. Okay. And what do you mean by half? Because one channel we could only see half the time.
No.
Did you have to go up there and adjust the foil on the antennas?
Oh, stop!
I was just about to say that.
I was the youngest. I was the one that had to go outside and go the other way.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. 2.5.
Yeah, we all had that little Philco portable TV on the chair in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And did that actually make a difference for real? The aluminum you put on there.
Right.
On the rabbit ears or whatever we called them back then.
Right.
So those were the good old days. But you're right, Vaughn. It was very nice seeing us represented and going on there and go, oh, look at that. Let me try. So a lot of us, where I come from is a small town, 3 miles in the country outside of a country town. So that was our dance lesson. Those were our dance lessons.
Yeah. It was, and it's like, wow, and it was different type of dancing too. So all those dancing is unique, because Black people are very innovative. Very innovative. They don't copy from
Say that
someone.
again.
They're very innovative.
Say that again.
They're very innovative.
Thank you, sir.
They don't copy. They invent things.
Things.
Yes.
They come up with. I'm like, wow. I say that is pretty cool. It's invented and then it is taken from us.
Right.
And then it is coveted and copied.
Right.
And that's what happens. But they're very innovative, and they should know that. If they don't know that, they should know that. Very innovative and very pioneer. They're pioneers. A lot of things that they've done was created first by them, and then everyone else started catching on. Then the world starts to catch on.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. So they need to realize that, and just, hey, love on each other, lift each other up, be positive towards each other, edify each other, and teach each other. Teach each other. Hey, do this, go this way, be like this.
Yeah.
And that's what we are lacking, and that's what we need to be. And if we're in God, we're in the Spirit, and then we're in our people, That's all we need. He'll do the rest.
That's right.
Right.
You know, and your heart got to be willing. The heart's got to be willing. And I'm sure there's going to be some like, oh, no, you know, but your heart has to be willing, and it will work out.
Right.
It will work out, and it will turn out for the best, because we some strong and innovative and intelligent people.
Absolutely.
You know? So I just want to say that.
Well said, brother.
Yeah.
Well said. You know, because I believe that, you know, it's you're speaking to the choir, because we talk about this quite a bit, at least when I'm here with this crew right here. And you know, I recognize that as being a program director of a radio station that's totally dedicated to the preservation of jazz, you know. And I hear a lot of comments from some of the other voices out there in the community, in the jazz world, critics and writers and, you know, literary folks who have wrote books about many, you know, the history of jazz and where it came from. It's only come from one source, and that is Black America, you know, along with spirituals and the blues.
Exactly.
And all other genres that have been created after those three main components is all built on the foundation of what spirituals have meant, the blues and jazz.
Exactly.
So that is you're talking about popular American music,
Right.
on that foundation, you know.
Right.
And so, and the only caveat to that they can claim is that they were the first to record a band, and the first recording. So
Exactly.
but other than that, nothing prior to that was connected with the other culture. It was all, it started, I mean, I guess it's like the history of it. They say one man in particular, Buddy Bolden out of New Orleans, was that guy. He was literally the Prince and Michael Jackson of his time in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And so he didn't get recorded because we're trying to steal his gift.
That's right.
Music, you know. And they ended, you know, accusing him of having some mental illness, and he went to an institution. He was never heard from again. So, you know, and then you had, and then some 10, 20 years later, here comes this little short, brown, fat guy who literally changed the game, you know, and he was like in that mold of Buddy Bolden, and we're talking about Louis Armstrong.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He changed the game.
Yeah, he did.
Literally.
Did.
You know, he had all the white popular musicians at that time panicking because they were like, what is this guy doing? And he was the guy. Louis
He started scatting.
So, you know, I got to tell you, man, you're absolutely on point with all of this, you know. And I was just looking at some of the other components of the Delphonics, and I didn't know it was that many Delphonics over the long history of the group that had performed under that name.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, William Hart and his brother, you know, like you talked about Major Harris, Randy Kane, you know, them cats like that, man. And, you know, the history behind that group, woo, you know, and I'm big on quartets and male vocal groups. The harmonies that you guys were kicking back then, it's unbelievable. And I just, you know, I fell in love with the orchestration as a kid, you know. And you were born and raised out of Chicago? Yeah. I got to ask you, your family lineage, where did y'all, I know a lot of your family lineage migrated from the South. Where out of the South did your family come from?
Birmingham, Alabama.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, my great grandmom, I'm sure she was part Indian.
Okay.
I think she was almost 100 years old.
Wow.
And when I saw her, I was like 12 when I went down to see her. And I just saw this slim lady with this long hair, 2 braids, just hanging down, just silver gray hair.
Right.
And everything in her house seemed, it was like you're in a log cabin. It was made of wood, and it had all these Aztec designs, the blankets and things hanging on the wall. And I didn't realize it at first. You know, I didn't realize that at first. And then my grandfather said, yeah, I think it was Cherokee Indian that we had in us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, okay. So that was a sight to see,
Right.
I'm like, wow. So we had gone down with my mom and some of my siblings, there were 10 of us. So half of us went, and the other half, I don't know where they were. They were doing their thing. They were older anyway. So they were out doing the older sibling stuff.
Right.
But we went down, we took a train down there. It was really nice, and it was something to see. Something to see. A beautiful land. I mean, it was beautiful down there.
I'm sure.
When I say something, I like how Modoc Music. I wonder who that is.
That's CTK.
Is that Modoc Music is CTK?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Hey, CTK. He said like Pat Boone singing Fruity Tooty.
Oh, that's funny.
When I heard that, I was like, oh.
I know.
Right.
Giving him some lessons before he came out with that.
And I remember seeing him. I see old footage of that black and white, and he's snapping his finger and tapping that shoe. On the 2, not the 1.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I said, okay. I saw it in the movie. What is it? Cadillac something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I heard it, I went, oh no, they should have given him some lessons. Like, oh, you gotta do this. But I think, and I've said this before, I think it was Thelonious Monk's son. I don't remember his name. Said jazz was never invented to be dinner music. But it and that's okay, because ballads are good, but I guess you could say there would be no Frank Sinatra if it weren't for the foundation, as Vaughn put it, in jazz. Yeah, people put their own seasoning into it and did whatever, but it's okay.
You can even go as far back as Nat King Cole.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back as far as Nat King Cole too, as well.
Yeah. So you just want people to know where it originated from.
Yeah.
Be educated. Because when my friend gave a traditional jazz concert, he told history behind where it came from.
Right.
And after the show, he came to our table because they had hors d'oeuvres afterwards. He said, I can't believe a man came to me and he said he didn't know jazz came from the Black community.
Wow.
Didn't know. So we just assume everybody knows, but everybody doesn't know that.
Yeah, they don't. Because time passes by and those things get faded away in the past and no one speaks about them. So it's left open for assumption.
Yeah.
And
other people step up to the plate and start claiming it because nobody else is talking about it.
Right.
Let's see, I'm one of those that will tell the truth.
Yeah. And you should. Just tell the truth.
That's how I feel about it. And, the same thing with R&B and soul and, contemporary and just American music in its totality, And so where I'm at now is like, and I didn't want to kind of get into the whole jazz vibe because I wanted to concentrate more so on how did you, where was the wherewithal for you to step into the Delphonics? Because that's a lot of pressure, man.
And where do y'all rehearse? How do y'all practice?
This is like, I'm thinking, if you had to name the spots to fill in, I mean, were you in the William Hart role? Do you sing is your falsetto? Is it your, where do you stand at in the group right now?
Well, the main singer, lead singer, is Gary Stevens.
Right.
So this is his baby, his project. He put all this together.
Right.
And he's been doing that for 25, 30 years.
Right.
And he's been doing that. And so he brought me in and it's like, well, remember I told you about the height thing.
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, why did you have me come here if you're looking for, giants? I'm the furthest thing from that. You know, he's like, no. He said, no. He said, yeah. He said, well, do this. So he showed me a couple of steps. He goes, wow. He said, okay. So he said, well, okay, well, I'm looking at some other guys and blah, 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 blah. So, you know, I said, okay, cool, you know, understood. But then I left, and he calls me back to rehearsal. And we rehearsed out of Inglewood.
Okay.
At his house. He got these mirrors on his wall, and he got the wood floor.
Right.
And there's only 3 of us, so it was plenty of room. You know, so we started learning the routine. And I said, well, wait a minute. I say, how, you haven't even said if I was in the group or not. You say you were still looking at somebody. He said, Maurice, why you say that? You in the group. Tell people that. Tell them. So I tell them, you in the Delphonics.
Oh, cool.
I said, okay.
All right.
So I started out just doing background because when I get in a new situation, I like to observe, be quiet, observe, and learn. And see, okay, well, what are we trying to accomplish here? You know, what is my role here?
Yeah.
So I want to do the best I can in that role. So I told him, I said, well, I don't do harmony that well. So that was my challenge. And I knew this group did harmonies.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And I said, he goes, don't worry about it. We'll teach you. We'll get you da-da-da-da-da. So I did know a little bit by singing in the choir.
Right.
And so I learned how to do that. And that's where I learned to start to learn.
Gotcha.
And then with them, I started to develop a different kind of harmony. Because, you know, with jazz has another harmony, doo-wop is another harmony, R&B is another, you know, depending on the chords.
Right.
So they're like, Maurice, you can do this. You can do this. So you're in the group. So you're going to do it. So I started rehearsing with them. So that's what all that took off. And then he said, you know what? What I want you to do is lead the song, Hey Love. Because the other songs we were trading off, you know, Didn't I Blow Your Mind this time? And we were trading off leads. But he was the main singer. But then he offered Hey Love as a solo spot for myself.
Wow.
And he'd say, now go ahead and learn it and blah, blah. So I did that. And I learned it. And then I performed it. He went, Mo, he said, you did, where you? He goes, what did you do? He goes, you were doing some stuff I didn't even hear you do in rehearsal. He goes, wow. He goes, I think that was the best song of the night.
Wow.
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
He said he thought it was the best song of the night. I said that was the best song of the night. You know, and the other member, he agreed. He goes, yeah, it was. You know,
That's
and
all
so I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can I do some more? We got another one in there, 2 or 3.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, so that's my role within that group.
Okay.
And it's fun to be a part of it. And as long as it's going, I will always be a part of it. You know, I mean, I still have, you know, my newer stuff that I do.
Right.
You know, that I'm following and been doing for years. It just now decided to step out and expose it. So that's what it needs, exposure. And as a performer, I've learned to be a performer. I've learned to get out and bring my AAA game, I say, because I look at it as if people are paying to come see you, don't waste their time.
Right.
You know, you need to put your best out there and give them your best.
Yeah.
You know, don't mess with their time because they could be somewhere else or watching somebody else they like. You know, and that's what I'll never try. I always take it seriously when I'm there. And when I'm there, I have fun with it. I feed off the energy from the audience. And that's what Gary saw when I actually sang that Hey Love song.
Right.
Is the audience. And I want to give them my best. That's just in my heart. I want to give you my best.
Right.
And that's what it is. I'll rehearse and learn, you know, the foundation and the structure. But then when I'm out there and that audience is there, then I want to give them my best. Then the emotions kick in. I want to give them my best.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I do. And I do the same thing with my songs. My newer songs. A long time ago, I used to listen to Smokey Robinson. And I always listened to his lyrics. And I was saying, where does he get these words? I was always curious, where did he get these words? How did he come up? And he had those old sayings in there, you know.
Yes.
As sure as the wind's gonna blow. You know, he would say stuff like that. How does he do it? It sounded so poetic. And I found my place as an artist in Smokey Robinson. And I'm like, wow, I like to do that.
Right.
You know, then I started following. My mom introduced me to Nat King Cole, Sam Cooke, you know, Jerry Butler, you know, B.B. King.
Yes,
and so I
sir.
listened to all these different people.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. But I always seemed to gear towards the romantic side. You know, the smooth groove, romantic,
Right.
swooning, whatever they got a lot of names for it.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Even though I used to impersonate James Brown and Michael Jackson. So I still have that dynamic side as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because
So
I was going to ask you. I thought I saw something in your bio about impersonating Michael and and stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I was with a group called Superstar Fantasy. And her name was Susan. She asked me, she said, Maurice, I got a look-alike. She had Prince. She had a Michael Jackson. She had a Rod Stewart. She had one girl in there. She doubled as Tina Turner and Whitney Houston. So she had like 2 acts in one. And then we had Denise Velasquez. She was the Madonna of the group.
Okay.
And she's still doing Madonna impersonation today.
Okay.
So she was the Madonna of the group, and she said, well, Maurice, I already got a Michael Jackson. I want you to come on and do your James Brown act. I say, but I don't look like James Brown. Because all these people she had, they look like the people.
Right.
I didn't. I like, well, I don't look like James Brown. She looks at me, she says, well, you're acting so good, nobody will care. And I said, oh, okay. So I got my Godfather hat and put my suit on, my tie, went out there, and my microphone trick, and that's what I did. You know, and we did that. That was fun. So she took us around, you know, we went to Texas, Colorado, Alaska, you know, and took us around, and I was doing that act, you know, and it was classic. So that's how I got into that, fell into the impersonation thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
So can you work it like James, like the footwork and all that, and do the?
Oh yeah, I did everything and more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had to invent a microphone routine because I said, well, how did James do that without the mic coming out? Because the first time I tried it, I snatched the mic out of the microphone. It came right out. It came right towards my mouth.
Oh.
So right now, if that had hit me square in the mouth,
Yeah.
I would go, hey, how I'm doing good right now.
Yeah.
I'd be speaking like that. I'm like, whoa, I was able to duck out the way. It hit the ground. I'm like, whoa, I got to come up with another way to do this. So I learned how to get the microphone with the flat bass. And that's what I did. I learned to get it with the flat bass. And then I would throw it out and then stop it with my foot and bring it back. I put too much pressure on it the first time, and that's why it came back like a rocket and it went slam. I had to watch it, get out of the way. Like, oh man, James is dangerous. So that was my thing.
Yeah.
So I finally got it together, and it just, I mean, just took off. You know, I was at LA, the Bonaventure Hotel. I ended up on Channel 7 News when Paul Moyer was still the anchor. And he said, no, he was a field reporter, and he was doing a report on lip sync that was big, and impersonation that was big in California at that time.
Right.
So he came down to this place called Bandstand, and where I was in a contest actually.
Yeah.
It was a finals contest I was in, and he came down. He said, "Hey, look, I like you to come and do this at the Bonaventure. We're doing a story, and we'd like you to come up there." And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I want you to come up here and do that. So I said, okay. So I went up there, and he had me do both. I thought he wanted me to do James Brown, but he had me do Michael too, and he interviewed me. So that was on Channel 7 ABC, you know, so that worked out. And all the other performers, they said, Maurice, how did you get at the Bonaventure? I said, well, they told me to come there because they were on there and they interviewed them as well, but they interviewed them on the spot at the Bandstand. You know, and there was a Rod Stewart there, you know, there was like all kind of people, you know, so that was an honor. So they got that, and that's how I ended up doing James Brown, you know, from Superstar Fantasy. And those are the experiences of doing James Brown.
Wow.
So,
I didn't think I'd get through the day without I hearing a Paul Moyer reference, but you know.
Yeah.
You taking me back home, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. So I remember that, and I performed like I had I Feel Good, of course, and Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, and Please, Please, Please.
Yeah.
Those three, and then I combine them as like a concert series, and put them in there. You know, so locally I would add Eddie Murphy in there when he was impersonating James Brown.
Yeah.
You know,
Doing Hot Tub.
So, yeah. So, well, it was the other one where he was. It was on Delirious.
Oh.
And he was impersonating all the singers. He was doing Elvis. He was doing Michael. He was doing
Michael,
that one. And,
right.
and it, you know, so I would come out and I would do the introduction. And he come out and say, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm ready to do my thing. You know, I want to get into it, man. You know, like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it. You know, can I count it off?" They go dun 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 dun, and I go, "Ow, I feel good." and so, and then I would have Eddie. I would split the songs up so that Eddie would come in between. Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, and I Feel Good. Where he would go, "Family duck, about the people think I'm a lost soul divine. Sit, good to you."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's a James Brown lyric.
That was it.
So I would edit that in there, and then when he got to the point, he'd say, "Yeah, we getting paid. Keep playing." Then it was like,
the band goes,
"Wow, I feel good." And then at the end of that, it was please, 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 please,
oh, sing it.
please don't go. And then they come out and put the cape on me and get up and walk me back, just as James Brown would do.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my act.
That's cool.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
tremendous. That's tremendous.
And obviously, you were not lip syncing doing James Brown or Michael Jackson, right?
Sometimes I did. It depended on the situation.
Okay.
But even now, they ask me to sing "I Feel Good" whenever I'm doing my shows, and it's like, you know, my solo stuff, and I'm like, no, you can't. You can only do James Brown every once in a while. That's James Brown's voice when he's singing like that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know, that stuff like that. I do that too long. I won't have a voice.
You got that right.
I like no. I can't do too much of that.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun doing it, and I would do it every once in a while because those are my roots, and that's what kind of helped me develop as an artist and a performer.
Yeah.
You know, it's performing those guys, Michael, James, and you know that helped me. And then later, it was Luther, Jeffrey Osborne, you know,
Oh yeah.
and you know those kind of things.
Wow.
So, and then Smokey, of course, because I can sound like Smokey anytime I wanted to. I was like, but they already got a Smokey, and he's still living.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I say, so I need to be me. So then I started writing, you know, my songs. So I have the CD, the new CD, Be in My Life,
Okay.
and I have that. And I wrote those songs, and I wrote them. I said, well, now let's see what Maurice sounds like.
Yeah.
So I took that, and then I started writing that. I said, where are you in this vein? This is where you are. This is what you like to do. This is your heart. And wrote those things according to how I feel.
Right.
You know, and that's what I did. So, and now we have me.
Well, good. Good.
Look, I got to explain why I'm laughing. Sometimes in the chat, Henry Mixon, when y'all were talking, when you said your last song was Please, Please, he puts peas, peas, peas. And I feel good. It's I feel good.
That's the Ebonic
Yeah,
version of it. Peas, peas, peas. Black eyed peas, green beans, you know, stuff like that.
'Cause we, you know, it's been a joke for years about his.
Oh, his
what do you
dictation.
call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
you know what? I love James Brown though.
Oh,
Me too. Me too.
Oh yeah,
Talk
everybody
about
does.
evolutionary.
JB was one of a kind.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Never be another JB, man. Never.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Highly respected. And then you wonder the way he would sing was so harsh. How did he maintain his voice. Singing
That was his
like
voice. That was his vocal cords. That was
that was
him.
oh,
It
it
was
was
made.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, just natural for him to do it. And
that squeal he used to do.
yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from.
well, you know, he sang in church.
Yeah.
He was a gospel singer, so that's probably where.
Yeah.
Because that note is nowhere on the scale, bro. I mean, think about it, because most composers call those blue notes. That's where the term blue note came from.
ghost
It,
note.
Wow,
it was beyond any. They could say, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah.
Nowhere on
Yeah.
the scale, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
nowhere.
I love James Brown. I even use it with my band. And well, Joyce, typically it should be this chord, and I turn around and say, "Did it sound good?"
That's it. That's it. Did it sound good? Music is about sound.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because I
And if it sound good, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. There ain't no need no more.
Don't care about, this was an augmented fifth with a flat nine. They don't care if you got a music degree, master's degree.
No.
Does it sound good? Are we
Yeah.
entertained?
And that's the ear. And that's, to the ear.
Sound good. And it did. It sounded good. And I'm like, well, it sounded good, but it's supposed to be, no. Does it sound good? And they know what I'm talking about. Of course, they have. But, and that's what I loved about him. I think he wasn't afraid to create his own lane.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
And I love it. And, Gary knows that's a phrase I coined years ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to create my own lane.
Mm-hmm.
and realizing that people have been doing that. They may not have called it that, but that's what James Brown was doing. And he influenced a lot of people.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Till this day. He was funk before they knew what funk was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
He definitely brought it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he brought it on the one, and that was his philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
On the one, you know. And so that kind of changed everything, because he adapted. I mean, it just expanded the boundaries of music again, and that's how we create. It's just like we just expand it. It goes a whole nother direction, and then a whole bunch of other musicians follow that way. You know, and it's going to expand again, where a whole bunch of musicians go that way.
Yeah.
And I think there's been so much expansion that people who have been influenced, like myself, and you by so many genres, you find yourself combining them. I told Gail Johnson of Jazz and Pink, she wrote Pink Symphony, all right? And I've played with them a couple of times, and I said, this song is genius. You grabbed a little bit of Baroque classical music, and you got some smooth jazz, you got a little funk in it. She smiled. She said, that's exactly what I was trying to do. And she did. When you start, you you feel like Baroque, then it goes into a boom, and then you lay it back, a little smooth, funky groove, and it just is beautiful. And then you hear something that almost sounds like a smooth EWF in it. It's really a great composition. And I told her, I said, this is my favorite song because all of her influence came into one song. And I think that's the new genre, if you can say that, that's a better word, is that people are taking all their influences and fusing it together. I mean, that's where fusion came from.
Exactly.
But I think that's what people are doing. I'm like, okay, I hear a little bit of reggae in there, but it's not reggae because I hear some R&B. That's because people are multi-genre people. You've been influenced, and you can't help it in writing. I mean, Maurice, when you're writing, do you go through this? You say, well, I'm going to write in this style, but by the time you end it, it's another style?
That happens. That does happen.
And
sometimes it's songs I wouldn't even sing. It's just like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But it's there. I write it anyway. So maybe it's somewhere along the way, somebody was, hey, I can use that song, So,
well, and that's what I mean. You've been heavily influenced by so many genres. And so when somebody says, write a song that's just this, okay. Let me come back. Because my husband said, I want a ballad with low notes on saxophone. And he said, I don't want it above this note. because he loves the sultry low notes of the saxophone. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to pull it back. I got, you know, so
Yeah.
instead of I'm writing and feeling and this is it.
Yeah.
But tell me about the music that you wrote. I think Gary's going to play some soon, right, Gary?
Yep.
If we
awesome.
we could move on to his music, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I was going to break in it at some point and say let's feature some of his music so that way people can kind of hear him. So yeah, go ahead with your question, voice.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna part the Red Sea and let you have it. Go ahead.
Well, I guess for starters, Maurice, tell us about, because we got 3 tracks from you today, and we're gonna feature those. But yeah, tell us about that music. Is it all on an album that you have, or these are singles, or what? Tell us about it.
There are 6 songs that is on this new CD, Be In My Life. There's actually 8. And I'll explain the extra 2.
Okay.
Is when I was thinking about, okay, I'm kind of done with music. I'm just gonna chill out and lay back and just live a normal life, whatever that is. And then I got to the feeling of people like, no, we want to see you, want to hear you, want you to do this. When are you gonna do this? I'm like, wow. I said, well, maybe I should just keep going. Maybe I should keep doing it, And so I decided, okay, I'm gonna keep writing. So I don't know where these songs came, and a lot of my songs come through me dreaming. In my dream, I'm already performing a song. And I wake up, and in my dream, I'm like, wait a minute. It couldn't be alive if I'm dreaming about it. So I would wake up, and I keep my phone next to my bed, so I would just kind of with the morning voice, and make it a word or 2 in there. And then I lay back and go to sleep because it's like 3, 4 in the morning. It's like, I'm working on a song 3, 4 in the morning. But those songs came to me. And then I said, okay, I'll listen to it in the morning and say, what is it trying to say? So based on the emotion of the song and the rhythm of the song, and I said, well, this is a happy one. This is a sad one. This is this. So I started writing these songs, and I had a few of them. And my choir director at the time, she said, what is that song you're singing? I said, oh, I made that up as one of mine. She goes, no, you didn't. Whose song is that? I said, no, it's mine. And she goes, well, if this is your song, if you wrote those, this needs to be on the radio. This needs to be on the radio. You got to record these songs. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, where the money coming from? It costs to do that stuff, right? And then I said, okay. I said, well, that's when I went back into my spirit. Like, Lord, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. You'll provide a way. And he did.
Right. Amen.
And so these songs came, and I started to do a single. It's the way it was supposed to. Okay. But then when I assembled the musicians to play the music, they're like, Maurice, you could do a single. They say, but you should do a whole CD, at least 6. And I said, okay. So I end up writing 7 or 8. 6 of them went on the album, and then the other 2 was actually a worship song. It's the title, I Bless Your Name, which I had my choir director sing. Because I always loved the voice. And I say, I wonder who could sing this song. So I wanted to hear someone else singing my music opposed to me all the time. I'm like, what would it sound like? Because I can't hear myself the way I can hear Stevie Wonder. I can hear Luther Vandross. I can't hear myself that way. So how am I writing? How is my writing? Is it great? Is it acceptable? Is it good? Does it compete with or compare with what's on the radio today or has been on the radio? So she sang it, did a great job on it. So that's not actually on there, the lyrical one. But there's another friend of mine named Greg Vale who's on there, who did the instrumental version with just his tenor sax. So that's who's with that one. The other songs is more me, and I wrote, and they came out and the musicians did a great job on it. So those 5, I said, okay, well, we're just gonna go ahead and do these 5 and then add those 2 to it. You know, so that's what we've done on the full CD. So there's a full live CD. You know, this is the cover.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, nice.
And then this is the back where it has all the credits of everything on there. So I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like you got some Delphonic moves on the front and back.
Oh, yeah. my first CD was a worship song.
Mm-hmm.
That's a worship song. All those that was done in 2006.
Okay.
And I was working with a friend of mine on a secular CD at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home one day because something was just on my mind. It was like, it wouldn't let me alone. And I said, well, I don't know any gospel songs. I never have written a gospel song at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home one day and he was working on the music and I say, hey, what do you think about putting a gospel song on the album?
Mm-hmm.
He says, you can't do that. He said, you can't mix the two. You got to do one or the other. I'm like, oh, wow. I say, what a spot to be in. I said, okay.
Do you?
I said, well, let's do the other. He didn't like that. But we ended up doing the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that one had became the greatest story. That I prayed on that one. I said, well, you know, God, if that's what you want me to do, then that's what I'll do. Let this be the first one I do, and then let everything else come after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 2 weeks later, I woke up with this song called Say Amen.
Mm.
And I wrote that, and that was one of the first ones. And then right after that, I kept waking up with a song, you know, in my mind. And I wrote them down and put them into a CD called The Greatest Story. And that's this one.
Okay.
You know, so that's what I did. The picture's more of a shadow, but those are all the songs on the back.
Okay.
6 songs. So, and that was the first one. And then the newest one came to me later. And so now that's what the people are going to hear, and that's what you guys have in your position. They're all original songs that I've written, you know, just out of my mind and heart and out of a dream, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how those things came about. So I had a lot of people around me influencing me and encouraging me to do these things. I said, well, they know what they're doing. They're singers, they're musicians. So, you know, let's go and just step out in faith and do what you do.
That's how you do
And that's how those came. But I did the romantic side. I do have something on there that's kind of funky. I don't know which one Gary has picked out, but
yeah, wow.
Out of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, but either one, I guess, would be good.
Yeah, because they're all good, and I'm gonna play all 3 actually. I like. Let's tell me which one out of the titles that I mentioned that's the funkier one, because I know there was one that was definitely funky. You was throwing down on it.
Oh, that's Closer.
Yeah, Closer. That's right. Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I think that's the musician song. You can take that and go in expand it in many different ways with that one. So that's Closer.
And then there was one, because when you mentioned about Smoke, I said, man, his voice sounded like Smokey a little bit on this one. A little bit. I don't know if it was just part of maybe one of the phrasings off of one of the songs, but
that one will probably be Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, that one would be Tonight.
Because the ones I have is Be in My Life, Closer, and then All About Love.
Okay, yeah, that one's kind of came out kind of reggae-ish. And I was surprised on that one. You know, like Joyce was saying earlier, you write something, you think it's going to go one way, and it comes out another way.
Yes.
But that's the way it came out.
Very nice. Well, let's let our viewers and listeners check this out, and then we'll come back and talk some more with you. If you just tune in, we're speaking with our guest, Mr. Maurice Christian, and we're going to hear some of this wonderful music right now. So everybody get ready, get your ears relaxed to receive. All right. We'll be right back. Everybody, keep it locked right here.
Anything
like the sun gently touches the snow. Your love warms my heart when I'm cold. I am encouraged by the words you speak. They agree with what I feel for you so deep. Be in my life, be my wife, baby. Be my always, forever and a day. Be in my world of love never ending. Be the one whom without I could not live. Your sweet smile can light up a night, and your eyes shine like diamonds in the sky. Your sexiness, your kiss, your warm embrace turns a tiny spark in me into a blaze. Be in my life, be my wife, baby. Be my always, forever and a day. Be in my world of love never ending. Be the one whom without I could not live. And this promise I made, girl, your heart I'll never break. I'm asking you, be my wife for life. The rainy days and the storms, let them come. 'Cause with this love we share, we've already won. Yeah, take my hand, don't doubt, nor fear. From this moment on, girl, we will rise above from here. Be in my life, be my wife, baby. Be my always, forever and a day. Be in my world of love never ending. Be the one whom without I could not live. Be in my life, be my wife, girl, and be my always, forever and a day. Be in my world of love never ending, and be the one whom without I could not live. Be in my life, oh, be my wife, girl, and be my always, forever and a day. Be in my world of love never ending, and be the one whom without I cannot live. And this promise I made, this heart I'll never break. I'm asking you, be my wife. Would you be my wife? Girl, be my wife. Be my world. Love never ends, baby. Girl, be my wife. Would you be my world? Come on. Love never ending. Be in my life. Hey girl, let me holler at you. Come here. Come a little closer. Come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby. I wanna tell you something. Whisper in your ear. I wanna know your secrets. ain't gonna tell nobody, girl, and I'ma tell you mine. We got a lot of private jokes to share, and I know you got some inside. But all I need is a green light, and we can set it off tonight. So come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby. I know you're feeling my vibe. So bring your body over here and rock with me. Follow my lead and let your mind be free. We can dance in the morning light. We can dance till we get it right. I like what you do, girl, where your body move. Face to face, back to back, tonight is going down. Me and you in the groove, now do you feel me? Come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby, let's feel the fire. Come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby, I know you're feeling my vibe. Hey. Come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby, I know you feel my vibe. So bring your body over here, baby, and rock with me. Follow my lead and let your mind be free. We can dance till the morning light. We can dance till we get it right. I like what you do, baby, the way your body moves. And let's feel the fire. Come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby, I know you're feeling my vibe. So come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby, and let's feel the fire. Come a little closer, come a little closer now. Come a little closer, baby, I know you're feeling my vibe. Come a little closer. Come a little closer now. Come a little closer. Come a little closer now. My eyes, my mind, my arms holding you close to me. My lips, my body, my hands caressing you down. It's all about love, about you, about me, about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. It's cool what we do, making love, yeah. 'Cause it's all about us, yeah, baby. It's me giving you what you needed, girl. All you're doing the same for me. Yeah, you do, babe. Giving her all, giving into, yeah, this love desire, yeah, baby. Nothing compares to this moment we're sharing now with each other. My eyes, my mind, my arms holding you to me. My lips, my body, my hands caressing you down. It's all about love, about you, about me, about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. Emotions running high, temperatures rise, yeah. And the moment is right, yeah, baby. The heat and the passion flows from your body. It says you're ready to fly. Yeah, you are, babe. That look in your eyes as you hold and you kiss me ignites a fire inside. Yes, it does, babe. Girl, you're so fine, you're perfectly designed. Yeah, I thank God you're my eyes, my mind, my arms holding you close to me. My lips, my body, my hands caressing you down. It's all about love, about you, about me, about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. Come on, this thing that we feel, girl, you know that is real. Hold nothing back, 'cause tonight, baby, tonight, baby, tonight, it's all about love, about you, about me, about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. It's all about love, about you, about me, all about us. That's what it's all about, love. You, babe, me, babe. What it's all about, love. You, babe, and me. That's what it's all about, love. You and me, babe.
Go get my saxophone.
I know, really.
All right. Dang, that was nice. Very nice. All right, we're back, y'all. I know y'all enjoyed that. Gosh, that sounded great. Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, the chat is talking about you. They heard the reggae feel. Henry said, "Hey, loving the reggae feel." So.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three of those was just fantastic, man. I know that whole CD is good. Because I actually when I went to your website, you do have where you can listen to, kind of like go through all
The samples, yes.
And yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna add some videos to that pretty soon. The website is pretty much new. Because sometimes social media doesn't really allow things to get out. They've taken that into a total different direction now.
Right.
So it's hard to work with and hard to get things out because they won't let it go out.
Right.
Even with advertising for your show and saying, hey, go to this show, check it out. They had me, it looked like I was sending out the notice to a lot of people. And then I go back and say, oh, sent, fail. They had like 10 they let go through and the other 3,900
never got it, yeah.
Like, oh, I said, this is frustrating. I said, what am I going to do with this thing?
Right.
So that's when I say I need to hire a publicist. A friend of mine in Ohio, it came across Desiree, and he goes, "Well, I can't use her but my friend Maurice can." So he's a legacy chef himself. His name is Vincent Moore. He's a chef himself. We've been friends for a long time. So I'm sure he won't mind if I say his company name, but it's Taste the Craft, and he's a legacy chef, and he encourages me a lot. He encourages me a lot, and he had said, there's a publicist that I've been following on Instagram. And I think I can't use her, but she'll probably be good for you. So he put me in touch with Desiree, and I spoke with her over the phone. Wonderful, wonderful person. Yeah, she's just amazing, and she's the reason why she's the one that I'm sitting here today. Desiree L. Benson. She's an amazing publicist, and she said, "Yeah, I can do this, I can do that," and she's done a lot more than she said she could do. And it's like the things she does just blows me away. I'm like, whoa.
She's amazing.
You know,
yeah.
And honored by the things she would do. Like, well, my name is not known. You say Maurice Christian, people are like, who was that? You know, but she took me aboard as one of her clients. And that's why I'm sitting here, you know, we're talking to you guys today, you know, because of that.
Absolutely.
So I tell people, if you need a great publicist, Desiree L. Benson, look her up. You'll find her.
Yeah, she's in the chat room. Thank you. Thank you so much, Desiree. We appreciate all the great work you do and all the great, wonderful artists that you bring. It's just awesome.
Oh, awesome. I like to also give a shout out, if you guys don't mind,
Of course not.
to my choir director and my friend, Alva Copeland, because she cracked that whip on me. She's the one that pushed me into it and cracked that whip. No, do it again. No, you can do better. You got another one in you. You know, and I so appreciate that. Yeah. You know, she's just so wonderful in giving like that. Her heart is giving. She does a lot of that stuff. So I have to give Alva Copeland a shout out for sure. You know, because without her, I probably wouldn't even have attempted to record these songs. Yeah. But she heard it first.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Alvalin too. Crack that whip.
Girl.
Yvonne, she would say Alva.
Alva.
Yeah, Alva Copeland. Alva Copeland, yes.
Alva Copeland.
Yeah.
He doing
her daughter took the CD cover photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dana Copeland. Her daughter took that CD.
Wow.
The pictures, the photos for the CD cover.
It's nice.
So that's her work.
Very nice. Yeah, I actually stole that. I stole you from the album cover to our promo pack.
I'm gonna tell her.
Breaking all copyright laws.
I know, right?
Yeah. There's one on there I wrote about my mom. My mom turned 96 back in May.
Oh. Wow.
And that's a mother's hands. And when I was writing, I go, you know, how do I tell or show my mom what a great mother she's been? And I sat down and I started writing A Mother's Hands. It's for all moms, but I wrote it in honor of my mom so that she's able to hear it while she's still here.
Yes.
And I thought it's important that they, you know, parents know how much you love them and what you meant to them growing up. Because a lot of times they raise kids, they don't know. Right. You know, you have to let them know. And so I wrote that in honor of my mom to let her know how much she's loved and what a great job she did and her sacrifices that she made bringing us up. You know, because it wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't easy raising 10 kids.
Yeah.
You know, especially 6 of them being boys.
Wow.
You know, and she rose, so that's 6 boys and 4 girls. And she raised us all up, took care of all of us. And I wrote that song for her, A Mother's Hands. So that's a real personal one for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Hey, see the mother's hands or mother's belt. That's what
Oh, that's good. You're right about that, Joyce. Either the hands or the belly. Didn't I tell you not to go? And every word you get to say. Tell you not to go down that street and play with that boy. So you bring yourself back in and don't you go out no more. And you think she's done, but she's not. And another thing, you know, and it goes on like that. So it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, what's his name, Sinbad? You know, you trying to run her and her arms. He said he was running down the street, and the kid said, "Hey, your mama hand."
Oh yeah. Reach out and grab you.
Reach out and snatch you.
I don't know about the hands, but she was good at throwing a house shoe too.
And when she had me on the floor braiding my hair, the ponytail and braid, she had the comb.
That's right.
Yeah. You'd be sitting there saying, talking some mess, and that house you come out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then very accurate too.
Yeah.
Even if you move it,
there you go.
It's like, dang, why did she do that? I thought I ducked. You know?
Right. Look, and she had a curve in that shoe. I know he's gonna try to put that curve in there. Make sure it got you. So I thought about that. Yeah, mother's hand was very comforting and all that, but she sure had that belt in that hand.
Oh yeah.
My mama's belt. One was red and one was black, symbol of blood and death.
Yeah.
About that later. Why was one belt black and one red? but you know what? It kept me out of a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, it made you think.
I deserved it all. I promise you, I deserved it all. And you know how they say, "Well, don't spank your child; it will destroy them." No, it doesn't.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
No,
that was a discipline thing. It makes you think and sit and think about it. You're like, yeah, it makes sense. It may not make sense when you're young and going through it, but when you get older, it's like, wow, mom said that, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So you definitely gonna run. Life is definitely gonna let you know what's true and what's not. You know, when you get in those situations.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I want to hear, what did she think of the song when she heard it?
You know, the funny thing about it is, before it was recorded, I just had done a demo of it, and I sent it to my youngest sister. So she listened to it. I say, it's mom's birthday. I say, after y'all sing happy birthday, play this song for her. So I texted the song to her over her phone, and I was waiting. 10 minutes went by, 15 minutes went by, and I called her back and say, well, did you play the song for her yet? For mom yet? She said, no, I haven't played it. It's just so beautiful. I was listening to it again.
Yeah.
You sure that's what you were thinking? It wasn't for you.
I thought something was wrong. I was like, what's wrong? She's like, oh, so beautiful.
Yeah.
That was my baby sister. She was so funny. So I finally, once it was recorded, when I went to visit, she got to hear it in person when it was completed, you know, again. So yeah, she enjoyed it because it was really nice. She sit there listen, and I could tell she was thinking some things in her head, you know, but she enjoyed it. She loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I even like how Tupac dedicated a song to his mom. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, mine too. That one by Tupac, yeah.
Yeah, dear mama.
You came, you know, and your mom's 96. How beautiful is that? My mom would be in her 90s too. COVID hadn't taken her out. But
oh wow, sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But it's amazing because my aunties, they're living till their 90s. They are doing that. And I'm loving that. I mean, and Gary's mom passed away, what, a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago.
My condolences to you, Gary.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So it's nothing like I wrote a song for my mom after she passed, titled it Cherished, because it was memories of her, an instrumental and it's very,
Yeah.
heartwarming type thing, and I think that helped with the grieving process because I was like, I don't want to right now.
Yeah.
And I pulled myself up and did that. So, but very, very nice. But I know all your music, for the listeners, all your music on all the digital platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, etc.
I haven't done that. So it's very exclusive to my website to go and hear it. And they can also order the digital downloads. If they want, if they like the song, they can hear the samples of it or whichever ones they want. And they can go to my website to get that. That's at myintimatevoice.com. myintimatevoice.com. And they can download the digital copies. The Greatest Stories CD, the worship CD, it's on all the platforms. You can go anywhere and get that. That was the first recording, the first CD I've done. And that's on everything, iTunes, Pandora. I mean, it's everywhere.
And we would search Maurice Christian to find it.
You can search Maurice Christian, and you'll probably see some musical videos on there too, on YouTube and things from back in the day when I was doing local things with my group and stuff. So performances and
with the
a lot of things. There's none about the puppets yet.
Okay.
But there is with some other bands that I had, in between then and now, that there is, I'm on there performing with the band.
Or Dream Express, whatever the name.
It was not Dream Express, but I had a band called Just Us. And I actually had that band entitled In Sync. And then In Sync came out, the boy band.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So they're like, okay, we had the name first. We spelled it different, but legally, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So, so we changed the name to Just Us, and we played a lot of local clubs, hotels, and private parties, and all sorts of things. So that was one band I had, and there was something else I was going to say.
Take your time.
How old am I?
Man, I know how you feel.
Look,
I do that all
every day.
I do
For
that
me,
a lot.
It feel like you are alone.
Not at all.
No, because you were in the middle of thought like, I lost it. My brain does that sometimes. It'll go in 3 directions at once, and it's like I start buffering.
I understand.
Or that little circle keeps spinning.
Yeah, it's like that happened when I was going like this. I was buffering, so that was that.
Hey, I get it.
I gotta use. I like that. I want to use that.
Me too.
But yes, Joyce, you'll see some videos of me performing and singing with the bands that I used to have back in the day.
Nice.
They can just research my name and all those things come up.
Yeah. And I'm like Vaughn, you're not alone. Even I was in Tulsa a couple months ago, and I had these pretty heels on and dress, and I came back for the second set, and I had my bling sneakers. I said, y'all, I'm sorry, I had to change to this because I'm not 20 anymore. That was last year. And they just, in other words, you start to make some changes about the shoes. Bing, I don't have to worry about that. I envy y'all. You can wear the same so put a different shirt. Nobody will ever know. But we as women, we have to think about our wardrobe, makeup, our hair.
Yeah, that's a lot.
All that we have to think of. Oh, well, those shoes won't fit that dress. Nails. and then I sometimes have 3 and on occasion 4 horns. And then I'm like, why couldn't I just sing? I wouldn't have to sing on the plane, anywhere. So even flying places, I have to be if I'm flying alone. With my husband, it's great. But if I'm alone, I have to be very careful because I don't want to go viral when I get on the plane, well, ma'am, I'm sorry you have to put this under. No, you can't crush it. I remember Tony Exum, he posted that they crushed his tenor sax.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Last year. I think it was about a year ago. And I could only imagine that because they're supposed to, by law, accept our instruments.
Right.
And I guess they said we're too full. But if the plane is packed and full, they can say, put it under.
That's right.
And he may have taken a chance because he was on the way to a gig or something, and it was crushed.
Wow.
And I have a fear, even though it hasn't happened to me, and it doesn't happen a lot. One time is enough. Just one time. You know, it's just like telling a woman who miscarried. Well, it doesn't happen a lot. Well, it's 100% for her. You know.
Right.
And then now things go viral, and I don't want my brand to be a viral video of me getting somebody or something like that. So but all those things you have to think about. But before we go, there are independent artists listening in the chat and not in the chat. Do you have advice or do you have comments about the plight of an independent artist right now?
The plight of an independent artist, I would say, number one, do as I did. If you're trying to get your music off the ground, you're trying to get it exposed, hire a publicist. Even though they diminished the record companies and, you know, they actually had the finances to do everything you need to do, get it on the radio, the promotion and marketing. No matter what you come up with, your product still needs to be marketed and promoted. Those two things. Even if it's a loaf of bread that you baked, it still needs to be marketed and it needs to be promoted. Because if you don't get it out in front of people, how will they know it's there? It's just like gumbo soup. There's 1,000 peas in there, and you take your pea and you throw it in there. Well, how do you know which one is yours? And how do they know that it's you?
Yeah.
You know, so you have to come up and instill that way, getting your product marketed in somebody's hands that can market it just like I did and put it out in front of people and influential people that can put it where it needs to be, where the light can shine on it. So don't give up and say, oh, nothing happening. You just have to find another way. And yes, you have to invest in yourself because it is going to cost you. So you think about that. It's going to cost you, but don't be afraid to spend that dime to get it done, because the results and the benefits is going to be far greater for you than if you hadn't done it at all. You'll still be wondering, time goes by and you wonder, oh, I had this, yeah, I wish I, you know, you don't want to wish, at least try. It's better to try and fail than not have done it at all and sitting back thinking about, I wonder what would have happened if I would have. Right. You don't want that.
Right.
You know, satisfy your soul. Do it. Say, hey, I did the best I could. I did this to get that. It just didn't work.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, because for me, music is something I just enjoy anyway. You know, I mean, I practice in my bedroom. It's 4 hours, 3 to 4 hour practices for me. Just working on different things and studying different artists and working on, you know, working on my vocal content and deliverance. Yeah. And I often record myself to hear what other people are hearing. I'm like, what are you hearing? Sometimes it's, whoa. And sometimes like, ooh, no. You know, don't put that out there. Right. So, you know, and it's like that. So I say, keep working at what you're doing, at your craft. Study other artists, there's somebody that you like, and learn from them. Because my question was always, why do people like them so much? The only way to find that out is learn their music. I did that with Jeffrey Osborne. I wanted to have a lower tone voice. And I started learning Jeffrey Osborne music. I started to learn Barry White's music, just singing them, just to develop a lower tone. Because I inherited my mom's soprano voice. And that's what I inherited. And I now know that I got that voice from her. Because when I was back visiting in April, she still wakes up in the morning, she's still singing.
Nice.
She still sings. And that's the same voice that I heard when I was little, about 7, 8 years old, where she would sing around the house, when she's cleaning or she's doing laundry, and I would just lay there and listen. And it was so soothing. And that's the same voice I inherited. So it was always high, and I never had to say, I'm a man now, I got to get that voice low. What's going on? You know, I got to talk like a man now. You know, I can't grow sideburns, so I might as well talk like a man. You know, so that's that's how things went down, and that's what I have, you know, to say to the artists, independent artists out there, people listening. It's like whatever it is. If you cook, if you design clothes, you know, get a PR person. You know, call Desiree up. She'll be glad to have you. You know, and get yourself out in front of people and get amongst those that are doing the same thing you're doing, so you can grow, you can learn, and you can grow. Because just even though you put these things together, you can always learn something from someone else.
Absolutely.
You know, that's in the business. And listen. Do more listening than talking. Listen.
Yeah.
You know, and then determine, okay, this is my goal, this is my vision, this is where I'm trying to get to. Because there may be more than one way to get there.
Right.
But listen and learn, because if the way you're doing it is not working, listen to someone else, see what they have to say. Don't be afraid of criticism. You know, if it sucks, say, hey, this sucks. You know,
Right.
And like I said, my friend Alva, she would tell me, that sucks. And no, that don't sound right. So, you know, and my boy Vincent, he'll tell me the same thing. He'll listen, he'll say, it's good. He goes, but it doesn't have the wow. He goes, I've heard your stuff. I know you you have the wow. So I say, okay, so then I'll take it back and go back and work on it and redo things. You know, and I just recently did that with him with a song I had with both of them that I'm writing on now. And I said, what do you think about this? He said, yeah, maybe if you slowed it down, maybe if you did this. And then I was like, I like that chorus, that's slamming, that's jamming. You know, she said, but the rest of it, I can't tell where it's going. So I go and work on it. And that's the constructive criticism. Don't take it personal and as an insult, because those people that want to see you do well will tell you the truth. And they want you to do better. Say, no, that's not right. Do this then, or do it again. They want you to do well.
That's right.
And listen, and take their advice and go back and work on it. Think about it, work on it.
So
you know,
important.
but the more thing is just marketing and promotion. Get someone to do that for you. You know, that's not my field. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do what Desiree is doing. You know, I don't know anything about that. So I got the word, I got introduced to her by my friend Vincent Moore. And, you know, then she took over, and I'm just amazed at all the things she do. I'm like, is that me? Is that me right there? Like, it's like, I know it's me, but is that me? I mean, you know, it's all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. So that's my story, and as far and my advice to the artists.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, most of the time, we as independent artists know we need help. We just want the right help, because
You need the
everybody
right help. Exactly.
They're not honest. They're just out for you. They want the money, but they won't give us no honey.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm just, I mean, I hear indie artists paying radio promoters up to $10,000 for one track to promote your radio stations. And I'm like, do you know we can only sell that track for 99 cents? Yeah. Do you understand?
That's right.
$10,000 is to an independent artist full time.
Right.
Even if you're working full time.
It's still a lot. It's a lot because you still have your economics. You know, your rent, your you know, your car payments and insurance. You got to eat, all that thing. So yeah, it is a lot of money, and that's all they want is the money. They really can't. They won't be honest with you about, well, I don't think this will fly or anything like that. They won't be honest. Yeah. And you hit it right on the head, Joyce. You got to be able to trust them, and it has to be somebody that knows, you know, what they're doing. That's not just taking your money, which is the reason why I didn't put this particular CD on social media, because they are selling it as a digital download. But then you won't receive profits from that because they're taking 99% of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, well, when you get to this amount, then we'll send you a check. Well, how many downloads at 0.01% that you have to sell to get to even $100?
Yeah.
You know, that's yeah. And even if you do get to the $100, how much do they have? 100,000? So you're losing.
Yeah.
You know, you're losing. So they think the followers, it's not the followers. You don't want followers. You want influential people. You can get your followers as your product is exposed. Because the followers, who are those followers? Are they really into what you're doing?
Right.
You know, you may not even be anywhere in their genre that they listen to every day. So you have to really be careful about that. It is useful in some sense, but it's not monetarily a benefit for you. So you really have to think about that. You know, you'll get your followers as your music is exposed. People say, oh, I like that. And you'll get one over here, two over there, maybe three over there. And they'll all converge and come together. But trying to just get out there to anybody is just like throwing something on the wall and trying to see what sticks. You know, you know, you don't want to do that. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money.
It is.
You know, you'll find 2 years, 3 years later down the road, you're still waiting to hit that that qualification of the media that the media set.
Right. Right.
You know, it's not meant for you to reach it. It's not meant for you to reach it. It's meant for them to get wealthier.
Yeah, they're moving the goalposts, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what it
They're
is.
moving the goal. Yeah, I like it.
I know. Right.
Here it is over here. No, it's over there. Go ahead, take right there. Got sight. It's over here, you know.
Yeah.
All right, G. I know you're trying to wrap it up. This
Okay.
is so good.
Oh yeah, this is great. This is great. Well, man, it's been such a pleasure, man, having you on today with us, and really enjoyed the conversation and enjoyed your music. Going to continue to support your music and everything. And then, like I said, your family now, man. You've been here every time. I tell everybody that when they come. So we appreciate it very much. So, and you know, you're open to come here anytime you want to. Like you got some new stuff going on, please let us know. We'd love to have you back.
Oh, and I would love to come back.
Okay.
And thanks for inviting me into the family.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I got a new family, y'all. I got a new family. You know? Gary, Vaughn, and Joyce.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna rejoice.
And again,
thanks for having me, you guys. It's been fun.
And again, thanks to Desiree as well, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been my pleasure, man. I appreciate you. You are more than a triple threat, because I was going to expound on your draw as well. You know, I was going to ask you about if you had any artwork or anything that was available to see. I know you're a vocalist, you're a musician, and you're a dancer. So you're a quadruple threat, brother. So keep doing what you're doing.
I do have artwork because when I was young, I did a lot of drawing, pencil art.
Okay.
I'll have to post some of that up.
Yeah, that's what that's
and
your website.
So you guys can see. What I'll do, as a matter of fact, I'll send it to Desiree and put some of those and give it to her so she can display that.
Love to see.
You know, for you guys, you love to see it. So yeah, it's something I used to do. I used to stay up, come in from hanging out and stay up all night just drawing, clean up the kitchen table, get all my artwork out and start drawing. I would do that. So it's great.
Nice.
I have to show you guys something before you go. Though one more thing.
Yeah, please.
Is our manager when we were with Don Kelly, Don Kelly and Wolfman Jack. Well, Don Kelly got assigned to this record label, but this is what it looked like on MCA. Remember I said earlier in the show, this is what it looked like.
That's the album cover?
That's the album cover.
Nice.
Now, is that you on the album cover?
That's me at the top, spread out there.
Okay. All right.
Look at it. Oh, how cute. I love it.
And this group here, that's us on the back.
Wow.
Those
You
weird
certainly
clothes.
can tell that was the 70s, brother.
Yeah. Right. We're partly this also are the puppets.
Okay.
The puppets that was in the dance group that'll be in the hip hop Chicago Museum.
Right.
Heritage Museum.
Wow.
So that's it. That's what it looked like, and it's still selling today. If you look it up online, it's there's so many people out there still selling it. I'm like, okay, so where the money at?
I know, really.
That's a whole nother show.
Where the money at? You selling it? Where the money at? We did sign the contract.
Exactly.
So, but that's what it looks like, in those things.
Right.
But I'll make sure you guys get that art, and
Absolutely.
she send it to you so you can take a look at that.
All right. And again, I appreciate you so much. Multi-talented, like Vaughn said, and guys, remember his website, myintimatevoice.com. Myintimatevoice.com. That's where you're going to see his music, hear his music, and download his music. Because what you're hearing today is not on Spotify, so you have to go to his website. And I want to give a shout out to the people who came in the chat, and also the ones who weren't in the chat. We appreciate you equally, or as well.
Yes.
But I just want to give a quick shout out to the people in the chat, and that was Modoc Music or CTK, Yvonne J, of course, Desiree Benson, Henry Mixon, with your funny comments, Keith Gilchrist, Colleen Keithley, Stan Johnson, PCU2 Video was in the house, Sandra, Will McNeil, hey my brother.
What's up, Will?
Hey, yeah, Will, thank you. Gia Hyatt and PJ Schlesinger. Y'all, that's my cousin.
What's up, cuz?
There you go.
For real.
Well, thank you all. Love you all. Thanks for
appreciate
tuning
that.
in, everybody.
And Joel Crafton as well. He came in towards the end. Yes, I see you, Joel.
Hey, Joe.
Thanks for coming by today and hear this awesome artist, his story. If you missed some of it, like Gary always says, you can always go in the archive and listen to it again. Thanks again, Maurice Christian. God bless you. So what an honor to have you here today.
And the same for all of you.
Thank you.
And have a good rest of the day, and thank you.
Absolutely. You too, well.
You too.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We're going to close it out, and we will see you right here, same place, same time next week. And I believe next week we have, we have Mr. Andre Pittman. It's going to be our guest next week. Yeah. He of Enthroned Records. He has his own record label, and he's long time, many years, and still is, and works for Warner Brothers and everything.
Nice.
But he'll be here, and we'll get to hear a lot of great things from him as well. And everybody just have a safe and wonderful weekend. The rest of it.
Gee.
Oh, go
one
ahead.
more thing.
Yes.
If you like what you listened to today, could you please click the thumb up and subscribe? Please subscribe. We're trying to build up.
Yes.
And if you've already subscribed, please ask one person, at least one person, share it with them, say subscribe to this channel. We really need to build this up some more.
Yes.
Gary's done a lot of work.
Yes.
A lot of work in bringing this platform, and we would appreciate your help in getting more subscribers. I forgot to say that, but okay, G. Back to you.
Thank you, Joyce. All right. Well, like I said, thank you again, Maurice, for being here, and also Vaughn, thanks for coming over. It's always a pleasure having you here with us.
My pleasure, brother.
All right. Okay, I guess we're out then. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right. You guys do the same.
Peace
All
out.
righty.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tasha, I'm sorry, baby. I'm not gonna be